Hello, sixth graders. Welcome to Big Ideas Math, Section 3.4, Extension, Factoring Expressions Lesson. Pause while you write Section 3.4, Extension Lesson in your math notebook. Pause again while you write today's objective in your math notebook. Today's objective is factor numerical and algebraic expressions. Pause while you copy the following key term, definition, and example exactly as it appears into your notebook. Factoring an expression. Writing a numerical expression or algebraic expression as a product of factors. And be sure you copy the example also. Take a minute to write the key idea in your math notebook. Be sure and write it exactly as it appears on page 140 of your textbook, which is also right here. Writing a numerical expression or algebraic expression as a product of factors is called factoring the expression. You can use the distributive property to factor expressions. So in numbers, it gives you an example, and then it also gives you an example using letters or using algebra. Now let's take a look at example 1, factoring a numerical expression. Our directions are factor 20 minus 12 using the GCF, the greatest common factor. Find the GCF of 20 and 12 by listing their factors. We could also use the prime factorization. And so when we find the greatest common factor of 20 and 12, we learn that it is 4. Write each term of the expression as a product of the greatest common factor and the remaining factor. Then use the distributive property to factor the expression. So it looks like this. 20 minus 12 equals 4 times 5, because that equals 20, minus 4 times 3, because that equals 12. So when we use it, when we make it look like it does with the distributive property, it's 4 on the outside of parentheses times 5 minus 3 on the inside of the parentheses. Now let's take a look at our study tip to the left. It says, when you factor an expression, you can factor out any common factor. So we're using the greatest common factor, but you can factor out any common factor. Now we're going to look at example 2, identifying equivalent expressions. Which expression is not equivalent to 16x plus 24? So we're given lots of choices down there. So it says each choice is a product of two factors in which one is a whole number and the other is the sum of two terms. So we see that we've got a whole number on the outside of the parentheses and then two things on the inside of the parentheses. So that's all that sentence is saying. For an expression to be equivalent, which means equal, to 16x plus 24, its whole number factor must be a common factor of 16 and 24. So again, we list the common factors of 16 and 24, and it says to circle the common factors. The common factors of 16 and 24, we can see that the ones that are circled are 1, 2, 4, and 8. Since 6 is not a common factor of 16 and 24, choice C is not going to be equivalent to 16x plus 24. So since that's what we're looking for, which expression is not equivalent to 16x plus 24, then C is our choice. So we're going to put a little dot in C. And then it says check. So we should always check our answer. So we're going to multiply it out. 6 times 3x plus 4, 6 times 3x plus 6 times 4 equals 18x plus 24. That does not equal 16x plus 24. So the correct answer is C. Moving on to page 141, we're factoring an algebraic expression. We receive a discount on each book we buy for our electronic reader. The original price of each book is X dollars. We buy 5 books for a total of 5X minus $15. We factor the expression. What can we conclude about the discount? So it says find the greatest common factor of 5X and 15 by writing their prime factorizations. So when we did that, we circled the common prime factor, and it was 5. So the greatest common factor of 5X and 15 is 5. And it says use the greatest common factor to factor the expression. So 5X minus 15 equals 5 times X minus 5 times 3. So we're just breaking this into parts. So we rewrote it, and then we're going to use the distributive property. We're going to put 5, that's our greatest common factor, on the outside of the parentheses, and then we put this X on the inside and this 3 on the inside, and we keep their subtraction sign and we put that on the inside. So it becomes 5 times X minus 3. Use the distributive property. The factor 5 represents the number of books purchased, and the factor X minus 3 represents the price of each book. This factor is a difference of 2 terms, showing that the price X of each book is decreased by $3. So the factored equation shows a $3 discount for every book you buy. The original expression shows a total savings of $15. Your assignment is to complete the following 4 practice problems. They are also on page 141 of your textbook. Show your work and be prepared to share during our next class. Your job is to factor the expression using the greatest common factor. I know that they're a little bit blurry, so just in case you're having trouble seeing them, I'm going to rewrite them for you. The first one is 7 plus 14. Number 2 is 44 minus 11. Number 3 is 18 minus 12. And number 4 is 70 plus 95. So remember your steps. Find the greatest common factor. Put that on the outside of the parentheses, and then put the other factors that you need on the insides of the parentheses. So hopefully that helps you remember how to do this. Otherwise, go back and review the lesson. If you're still confused, be sure you note that on your exit slip, and let me help you with it tomorrow during class. Please remember to earn credit for viewing this flipped lesson. You need to complete your exit slip back at the website. You also need to come to our next class prepared with the journal pages that we did during the flipped lesson or any other work that we did for the flipped lesson completed. You also need to be prepared with any work that was assigned in the flipped lesson completed, and be ready with any questions you have for your teacher, and as always, have a good attitude. We'll see you tomorrow in class. Remember to earn credit for viewing this flipped lesson. You must complete your exit slip. You must come to our next class prepared with your journal pages or any other work that we did during the flipped lesson completed, and you need to be prepared with any work that was assigned during the flipped lesson completed. Be prepared with any questions you have about the content of the flipped lesson, and a good attitude. We'll see you in class tomorrow.